Ladies and gentlemen, between the year 2020 to 2040, we are facing this period of time called the demographic bonus or bonus demography, which it means we are having the working age population larger than a non-working age population, which we think that it will lead to the economical growth potential if we take advantage on it. So with the motion, the House will developing countries should require foreign companies to operating in its territory to have a minimum quota of hiring local workers. We believe that if we pass this motion, we can, the countries, especially if we're talking about Indonesia, we will boost and increase the economical growth of our country. So what's the status quo right now? So besides the bonus demography, we know that right now we have massively the China workers that are hiring in the foreign companies in Indonesia, and we believe that that is shouldn't be happen because it will harm the economical growth of our country at the very first place, which I will explain to my case later. So first, what is this developing countries? So if we're taking the example of Indonesia, it means development countries or Indonesia, we're facing problems of foreign workers because besides we want to increase the economical sector by cooperate with foreign companies, we also want to increase the usage of the natural resources and human resources itself. So, but the problem is development country, we have the minimum technology capacity, which lead to the lacking of the utilizing the natural resources and human resources at the very first place, just like I mentioned before. That's why the existing of foreign companies in our country is still give us the benefit. So, but the problem is that what happened right now, we have numbers of the foreign countries that come into Indonesia, but we're lacking of these companies hiring our local workers, which really harmful for our country. Why this is so harmful? Because first, by having foreign workers, it means we are reducing the number of local workers, of the number of this working age population being hired in employment. This is so really harmful for our country. Why? Because if we have a higher number of unemployed workers in our country, it will decrease the number of economical growth of our country itself. Moreover, so what is our proposal by this motion? So our proposal is that we need to have a minimum 80% of foreign companies, 80% at least from the whole number of the workers, which basically come from the local workers. So why I mentioned 80%? Because we see that 80% is a good number. Because if we're facing this bonus demography at the very first place, we have plenty and numbers of age population workers, and it will give benefit to our country. And because if the number of unemployment explode, it will affect the poverty rate, and it will affect the social welfare as well. And then the second, so the opposition side of the House might argue, what if those 80 workers are not capable enough to working to giving their best to these foreign companies at the very first place? Well, we believe that the other 20%, we still need help from the these foreign workers as well, and they will act as the leader. They will teach these local workers to be a good employers, for example. So we believe that if this number are passed, if we pass this motion, it will give much more benefit to our country at the very first place. So why we believe that this motion also good for the foreign companies as well? Because if the foreign companies hiring more employers from the local workers, we believe that they will expand and they will increase the number of, let's say, the branches for the other companies. They will most likely to open, let's say, the other companies in the other place, which basically will hire more others employers, for example. So why this is very important, and why this could giving an impact for us, because like what I said before, we have a numbers of employers, and we also have a good natural resources because developing countries usually has a minimum technology capacity, and we believe that by having these foreign companies in our country, we could cooperate with these foreign countries as an Indonesian government, for example, and we will boost our economical growth, and we also will give much more benefit to these foreign countries at the first place. So what if the motion not passed? What if we still not giving this consistent minimum quota of hiring local workers? Number one, the number of unemployment will explode, because from what I mentioned earlier, we have a large working age population number. We believe that this number of unemployment, if we have massive people that not have a jobs right now, it will affect the poverty rate, because they basically don't have their money, they don't have their wages to like feeding their families and so on and so forth, and it will affect the social welfare as well. And why this is harmful for the economy of the government? Because if the society have less money, they will not ever they will less likely to spend their money to buy stuff, and it will lead it will cause harmful in so many effects, even in the other effects of the economy at the very first place. And that's why we believe that this developing country and these foreign companies should have a minimum quota of hiring local workers, which by our proposal, 80% is a really good number for us in order to be countries that have high economical development. Thank you.